Hey beauties, it's Riri. If you're new here, I'm an over 40 lover of all things beauty and I love showcasing indie brands here on my channel. Today is going to be a quick Sephora haul, and then we're also going to talk and really be candid about overconsumption, shopping, and is the Sephora sale actually worth our money or are we getting scammed? We're just gonna dive in. I'm also gonna kind of scoot to the side because I did test out, so I can kind of give you guys kind of first impression thoughts on some of the products. First up, I got this little Rhode set. Of course, Rhode has been everywhere. I've not tried anything yet from the brand. This is the Glazed Trio. It has the Glazing Milk, and then 2 of the Peptide Lip Treatments. So it was like a little bundle. And if you guys have been here with me for a while, or if you watched my very last Ulta haul, which is actually my very last Ulta haul, I like to be able to try gift sets and a little bundle sets because I feel like I can get a bang for my buck and I can test a brand and kind of see my initial thoughts without kind of breaking the bank. So you'll see here the demo portion. First and foremost, I love the packaging. I think it's minimalistic, very sleek, but it's quite heavy and quite weighted. This I really, really think I'm gonna love. Even after putting on all of my other products and stuff like that, I do have very dry, dehydrated, textured skin. I'm still seeing a beautiful kind of level of glow and stuff like that, and it's only from this. I do have a slight little bit of highlighter on, but I love the texture and the consistency of this. If you've tried the PIXY like Milky Toner, the Milky Spray, that line, this is very comparable to that. I like the texture. It didn't have a scent or anything like that. It's quite lightweight, and it did, in fact, give me a beautiful subtle glaze. So I think even if you have oily skin, I do also think you would like this. I think it's more of a kind of universally friendly type of formula. The Peptide Lip Treatment, I have Strawberry Glaze and Jelly Bean. I did demo Jelly Bean. I don't know how I feel about it. The actual component itself, I love. Like, I like that it's nice and thin and very sleek and stuff like that. You can see, like, kind of even in the demo, it's a little bit thicker. It's almost more like petroleum-y. It smells insanely delicious, you guys. My only thing with this is that it is thick. It feels quite thick on the lips. So for me, which this is a treatment, so for me, I most likely would wear these at nighttime. I'm not going to open this one just yet. I am going to continue to test this one before I open this, in the case that, like, it's so thick that I'm not gonna like it, if that makes any sense. So I'm torn. And I know that's not much help to you guys. I definitely have treatments, the one that's coming up, that I like better. It just feels thick and it just kind of feels a little bit heavy. But I'm going to use it overnight and kind of sleep with it on because I do that every single night. And then kind of come back and give you guys some thoughts on it. The way that it smells though, oh my gosh, it smells amazing. And the fact that it is thick, it's gonna have some grip. It's gonna have, you know, that long wearability and stuff like that. So I'm kind of 50-50 on this. This I love so far. Next up, speaking of a formulation that I kind of prefer, this was the Lil Softies 2.0, the Lip Softies set from Tower 28. And I will have Sephora linked down below if you do choose to shop. I am not affiliated. I didn't get paid to do this. I bought this with my own money and paid it Afterpay payment, y'all. I already have one of these and I love it. I use it consistently. I have the Dulce de Leche, and this one also has like an updated version of the Dulce de Leche. I will say they're much, much smaller than I anticipated. I did go in with the shade Tiramisu. It smells divine, and this is more, in terms of kind of wearing it daily, in terms of being, in my opinion, a little bit more comfortable. I like the texture of these better than this one. Again, I'm going to sleep with this one on overnight and kind of see if my thoughts change. This is kind of that perfect mid-ground where I feel like it has some grip and some hold, so it stays in place. It continues to moisturize and nourish my lips without feeling kind of overly thick or heavy on the lips. I do like the variation in the tones and stuff here. I just, for right now, I feel like I definitely have a preference for the Tower 28 to the Rhode. Next up, speaking of Rhode, I have also heard that their pocket blushes are phenomenal. So I did pick up one of the pocket blushes in the shade Sleepy Girl. Again, I love the packaging, the aesthetics and stuff like that I think are beautiful. It feels well made. I will say, I kind of have a hard time pulling this off. Like at first I couldn't even figure out was I supposed to unscrew it or if it was a pull top. And it's way smaller in terms of like the actual circumference of the product, but there's a lot of product in here. I find that I think this is going to be a formulation that I'm going to like. I think I'm really going to love it, but it doesn't give as much punch as maybe I generally would prefer. So maybe during like the summer months when I'm more tan, I would probably have to go up a shade to get something a little bit more punchy. In saying that though, I love the texture and the consistency of this, and it looks really beautiful on the skin. Another one coming up, in my opinion, is a little bit better and feels and looks a little bit better on the skin. But as you can see, me blending it out, it almost shears almost completely out. And I know to some people that's probably a bad thing, but if you kind of have full pigment out the gate, sometimes it can get patchy, muddy, it can lift other product, and it kind of just sits in place. Whereas with this, I know that it's not going to do that. I just don't know for me that it gives enough, and it could just be the shade that I chose. It did dry down completely. It sets completely down, which I do love in a cream blush. I think that unless you get a deep enough shade, then you're not going to get maybe the punch that you want. And their aesthetic may be that. Their aesthetic may be just very soft, you know, very clean girl, very minimalistic. But it's pretty, and I think I will use it up. I do like the color and stuff like that of it. I just don't think that it's quite as punchy and as pigmented. So if that is something you're looking for, I think you would like it. Next up, I got this 54 Thrones, the Ugandan vanilla and Ethiopian honey hand and body butter. The packaging, baby, 10 out of 10. This also is intensely thick, very, very, very thick. Think more like Vaseline petroleum jelly, but like in like a more firm manner, if you will. I do like this. I would not, for me personally, I wouldn't use this during the day, which, you know, like a hand butter or something like that, I would most likely put this on when I'm already in the bed, like I do with my lip treatment at night, lather my hands and go to sleep, and then hopefully wake up the next morning. Like my hands feel nice. They feel very nourished and stuff like that. It's just a little thick for what I would feel comfortable with kind of using it during the day when I'm trying to clean and cook and film and do things. But I think I'm overall going to like it. This kind of reminds me of the way that a melting balm or a cleansing balm for makeup removal is, where it starts off a little bit more solid, and then as you kind of manipulate it into the skin and kind of the warmth of the skin kind of reacts to it, it becomes a beautiful oil. And it is decadent, it's rich, it's thick, it's luscious. It's something that I would not use personally for myself during the day. Next up, a couple more blushes. I picked up the Huda Beauty Blush Filter Palette Blurring Blush Lighter in Toasty Peach. The packaging, baby, 10 out of 10. Absolutely stunning. And it's incredibly heavy, very, very weighted. I think overall, I love the color story that I chose. I mean, I like those more kind of toasted, peachy types of formula of shades. They seem quite intense and quite pigmented and stuff like that. The highlighter I think is really stunning as well. For me personally, I have a lot more texture and stuff on this side of my face. Like this is obviously the side, you know, I've driven for X amount of years. So the sun, you know, I get more sun on this side of my face. I feel like it's maybe not quite as blurring as I would have hoped. Like I don't feel like I get that kind of soft blurred filter effect the way that I do her blushes, like the liquid blushes. Those 10 out of freaking 10. It doesn't look bad, and I think I'm going to enjoy it. I'm just noting that for me, I thought it would give me a little bit more of a kind of blurred or diffused property to the skin, but packaging and everything, I think I am going to love it. I am holding on to it. And then the highlighter, I will note that if you do have kind of more textured skin, this is one of those that kind of does feel a little bit thicker, that does, in my opinion, sit kind of on the skin. And it's not super forgiving, but I do like it. I also don't know how many people are going to like a kind of peachy to pinky highlighter shift, if you will, which of course you can layer them and stuff like that. So I like it. I know I'll get some use out of it. I just thought I'd get a little bit more. That's all. And next up, the one that I was talking about, I loved, kind of versus the Road one, is from Glossier. This is the Glossier Cloud Paint Plush Blush in Gale. And this, wow, wowie, wowie, wow. That is what I'm wearing on this side. Let me get really close for y'all. This is the Glossier. And this side, the only difference is the blushes. Which, again, I have a little bit more texture on this side, but I just feel like this side looks soft and diffused, and it gives that kind of blurring effect. I will note, and you're probably hopefully seeing it right now, this is cheap. It feels cheap. I like the packaging. It looks nice. It's nice and thin. It's nice and sleek. And I know they're more of a kind of minimalistic type of brand, so I'm not bothered by it. However, y'all, as soon as I bend it past that point, it just comes off. Which, okay, it takes 2 seconds to put it back on, but if I'm spending more than $8, okay, or something on a blush, I don't want it to do that. I do like that the lid is pretty indicative of the shade inside, but the texture of this, it is magnetic, it does pop out, and I'm assuming that this is just meant to be recycled, hence it feeling a little cheap. The actual color, first of all, absolutely stunning. The texture of this, even now I'm floored by it. This is the exact same texture and feel and formulation as the Fenty, hold on one second. And I have 2 of these, that's how much I love these, of the Fenty Suede Powder blushes. And Baking Cakes is one of my all-time favorite products just ever. This feels the exact same. So if you already have these, you know these, you love these, and you've wanted to try Glossier, maybe Glossier has a shade that Fenty does not, whatever the case may be, you're going to absolutely love this. This looks blurred, it looks soft, it looks diffused, but if I want to punch it up, I can. This is fantastic. The packaging, you know. Yeah, I was a little disappointed by that point of that part of it, but I mean, the component itself, it's cute. Like, it's cute, it's sleek, it's slim. I do like that this is like, you know, this color is indicative of what's inside and stuff like that. But yeah, as soon as you bend it back past literally right here, it's gonna come off. So if that doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother me because the formula itself is stellar in my opinion. I would repurchase it. I think it's really nice, but I feel like if we're over, you know, a cheaper drugstore price point, I don't want this. You know what I'm saying? I'd like you guys to chime in down below about that. Okay, that is all the stuff that I kind of pre-tried for you guys. Some hits, some misses-ish, and then things obviously I'm gonna have to keep trying just to kind of give full-on thoughts. So let me come back over to frame. Next up, I got this little duo. Again, you guys know I like to take advantage of little kits like this. This is the Be My Date Lip Duo from Colfi. And these are their Lassie Lips Staining Lip Oils. And there is First Sorry and Date. And I got this one, I believe, in my Allure Beauty box. This is in the shade Wava. And y'all, even though this is a shade I would never normally wear. I even said that in my unboxing and stuff like that. There is something that is so incredibly beautiful about this formulation, you guys. Like, it goes on, again, this one's not my favorite color, but I do use it still all the time. There's something about the beautiful level of shine. It's incredibly high shine. I am going to kind of smooth this out, and I want to let it dry so I can kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here. So you can see already, it's not going anywhere. I can't move it or anything like that. But as it kind of fades, you are left with that beautiful stain, and y'all, your lips still stay nourished and stuff like that. It's not drying or anything. It's not kind of a traditional stain, but like it's not going anywhere. So because I love this so much, I was like, dude, I'm getting that, because these are for me more my shades, more wearable shades for me. I already know I'm going to absolutely love these. If you are looking for something that upon first application, it looks just like a beautiful, very high shine lip gloss, lip oil. It's, you know, nourishing and stuff like that. But then as it wears away, you are left still with this beautiful flush of color that does not budge, but it doesn't dry out and make the lips look cracky and stuff like that. Y'all, this is a phenomenal formula. Next up, I picked up the new limited edition shade of the Too Faced Kissing Jelly Gloss Juicy Lip Oil. in Cream Soda. I am also not going to open this just yet. That's the reason I didn't demo these. If I have something already open, I'm not going to do that. Plus, I'm in the midst of getting all my declutter series done. But I love this formula so much that I wanted to pick up another one. And when I say I love this formula, you guys, a couple of these were gifted from Too Faced, and I have also purchased some. This shade was Birthday Kiss, and as you can see, it's completely gone. This shade is, I should wear my glasses, Strawberry Frosting. As you can see, this one's almost gone. This shade right here is in Grape Soda, and it is also almost gone. This is my all-time favorite lip product ever. I love the Doe Foot applicator. They smell so incredibly yummy. They give beautiful high shine. They hydrate the lips and stuff like that, and they have just enough grip and hold that they're going to stay in place, but they continue to stay nourishing on the lips. I cannot tell you how many lip products, lip oils, lip whatevers I've tried that as they're withering away, my lips feel dry as hell. The formula of these, you guys, it is, in my personal opinion, perfection. Of course, there are different, you know, like my favorite lip oil stain would be this. You know what I mean? I have like a favorite lipstick, but my all-time favorite overall lip product is this, hands down. Absolutely stunning. Everything about them. I like the size, the component, the packaging, the Doe Foot applicator. It applies just the right amount of product. They smell delicious. They feel so damn good, you guys. I love these. Next up, I got a re-up of the K18 Air Wash Dry Shampoo. I just got a mini because the full size one that I have, I have like this much left in it. I've had it since it launched. I saw it pop up in the like 24-hour early release when it launched, and I just now am running out of it. So I already know this is gonna last me a lifetime. This is expensive as hell. Like the full size I paid $48 for, but it has lasted me this entire time. Like it's lasted a long time for me. But there is something about this versus other dry shampoos. It doesn't leave a weird white cast or anything like that. I also prefer that it is an actual spray versus something that kind of takes my breath away. I do have allergies and asthma, so for me, I prefer something like this, but it kind of mattifies where you place it. I just kind of run my hands through my hair or brush it through my hair after I place it, and y'all, instantly, the hair, you know, there's no oils or anything like that left behind, but it doesn't leave it super matte. The hair doesn't feel super dry. It never gets gray or ashy or anything like that. I love this stuff. So definitely had to repurchase that. Next up, another staple in my makeup collection. This was another little duo. This is the Chocolate Treats Lip Luminizer and Lip Oil Duo. We have a Gloss Bomb Universal Lip Luminizer and the Fenty Treats Hydrating Lip Oil. The Gloss Bomb is one of my favorites. This is also another one kind of in comparing like Road to Tower 28. The Fenty glosses, in my opinion, are just a little bit more thick, a little bit more rich, and they have just a little bit more kind of weight to them. So you can definitely kind of feel them on the lips. They don't feel sticky or anything like that, but I don't have really any colors like these. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and pick that up too, but I'm obviously not going to open it up just yet. I do have a couple of them open. I love these. I do have one of the oils. I thought I did, but I love these. I love the textures, the consistency. They smell nice. They have a really beautiful big doe foot applicator. The pigmentation is great. So yeah, I wanted to also pick up one of those because I already kind of know and love the formulation. Next up, I have heard so many people talk about the Glossier fragrances. So this is the Impressions of You, and it is the little 4-piece sampler of Glossier You, Glossier You Dew, I guess, Dew, Glossier You Rev, and then Glossier You Fleur. And again, it's an affordable way to kind of test the brand, test multiple different fragrances and stuff like that, and kind of see what we think. I'm just going to pick one at random. This is, I think, the regular one. Yes. All right. So that is just the Glossier You. So I am going to smell just one. Again, I have allergies. I'm not trying to hurt myself, y'all. I'm just going to take my little Sephora box here, and I'm going to spray some on the box. Of course, the dry down on the skin is different from on the box. Oh, I got right in my eyeball. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I love that. Ooh, yes, I love that. It's almost like soft florally, A little bit of warmth behind it. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I'm not gonna spray that on my skin because I have one more to test. And then last up for my little haul, and then we're gonna go down to a rant. This is the KLE, the Oudgasm Chocolate Oud. If you know, you know. I absolutely love KLE fragrances. I think there's only been one that I just did not like, but the packaging, the components, everything, like I love, 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 love. And I've loved 90% of the fragrances that I have tried. I am a gourmand babe through and through, but I want depth in a fragrance. Like if something's sweet, I don't want it to be just one note and very sickeningly sweet. I want warmth, I want spice, I want depth, I want some roundness. I want it to be more than just, oh, this is sweet, or oh, this is floral. So I feel like they do a really good job. Again, I'm gonna spray into the box. I'm kind of only smelling that Glossier though. Oh my, oh my. Okay, that one I am spraying onto the skin. And you want to lightly press, and then when I like kind of done spraying my perfume, I will spray some a little bit higher than myself, and I'll walk through it so I get like a dusting of fragrance in my hair. It is definitely sweet for sure. I'm getting like the chocolate and stuff like that, but it's got something else there. Like it's a little bit more rich. I feel like this is a very like kind of sexy type of fragrance. Okay, I like that. All right, and then of course, like you get the little freebies or whatever. I got this Nutrafol hair serum and a Kerastase, whatever this is, like an anti-frizz thing. Okay, with all of this being said, I just want to kind of note first and foremost, if you watched my previous, this is my last Ulta haul. This is also going to be my last Sephora haul. Pretty much indefinitely. The only exceptions, as I said in my Ulta haul, will be, is it a gift for somebody? Maybe I can get some points or use points, or maybe they got a sale or something like that. Or am I re-upping on something I already know and love? Those are the exceptions. And the reason is quite a few reasons. First and foremost, I am not somebody that kind of falls into like the overconsumption type of thing. And even though this is my job, this is my passion, this is what I do full time, I do not need this many things. None of us needs this many things. Second of all, I cannot afford to keep buying and buying and buying and buying. Even though I do have my resale group, nothing ever goes to waste. Even if it's older product, y'all, I have given my friends and family, my mamas, my sisters, my nieces, I have given them and given them and given them tons of makeup and stuff. So nothing ever goes to waste. And I kind of want to put that out there very quickly too, that I'm not a creator that, you know, I get something like today's palette of the day is the Nomad Cosmetics, the new Christmas market. I've used this already 4 times and I'll continue to use it. I am not somebody, even in terms of, you know, if I were to get a lot of PR and stuff like that, I am not somebody that's going to get something and first of all just use it one time and call it a day. Unless it is a product with my subscription boxes that you guys specifically request to see something, I'll do a look with it and then I put it over in my resale group. Just like if something were sent to me, say Tower 28 sent me 14 shades of whatever product. I am not somebody that's going to swatch all 14 shades and then they're going to sit in my drawer for a year and then I'm throwing them away a year later because they went bad. I'm keeping the 3 or 4 that I know I'm going to love, use, and then I'm going to give away the rest. I'm going to pass them along, pay it forward, things like that. Hopefully all of that is making sense. Third of all, we downsized from a 2,500 square foot house to a 1,000 square foot house. My room is tiny. This is a very, very, very small space. And I do not have the room to continue to bring product into my home. And then the flip side of that too, we're trying to save up money and pay off bills and stuff like that. You know, I'm pushing 50, honey, okay? And I wanna make sure that we are able to retire and actually live a decent life when we retire. With Sephora itself, taking all of that out of the equation, unless you are on the Rouge tier where you were able to receive 20% off, there's not much of a value in shopping the Sephora sale. If you're only saving 10%, now look, my exception to that would be, and I'm not here to deter you at all. I'm not here to look, I'm just trying to show you guys what I got in my little box and kind of give you guys my thoughts on things. However you spend your money, baby, that's your business, okay? I'm speaking in terms of, Unless you are like me and like I wanted to test a bunch of different brands, maybe the 10% is worth it to you, you know, versus going to each individual website, having to pay shipping for each individual item. I get that. However, 10% in the spectrum of sale is nothing. It's literally not, it's not enough for me personally. And as a consumer, it's not enough for me to jump and be like, oh, I'm gonna buy that right now. Unless, like I said, you want to try 10 different brands from Sephora, then you know, hey, I'm either getting free shipping, you know what I mean? Or I can try all these different brands, plus get 10% off, plus pick a couple of different, you know, samples. Maybe I also have points, so I can turn in my points. In that case, I can understand. But specifically this time of the year, Tower 28, you guys, they're going to have 10, 15, 20% on their actual website. You know, Fenty Beauty, they're going to have 10, 15, 20% on their actual website. So if you're solely going to shop the Sephora sale and you're like, oh, I'm only going to go buy Fenty Beauty, 10%, in my opinion, is not enough to warrant freaking out and, oh my gosh, the Sephora sale, I can't miss out on the Sephora sale. The Sephora sale is the greatest thing since sliced bread, because it's not. Even at 15%, yeah, it's a little bit better of a savings. Again, specifically if you're buying multiple different brands, testing and trying multiple different brands. But again, you guys, you know, Fenty Beauty, you know, KLE, whomever, they're going to have their own sales, more specifically during this particular time of the year. I have literally shopped Fenty products, you guys, at 40% off during holiday season. So for me, unless you are shopping multiple brands through Sephora and you can omit having to pay shipping at 6 different places, or you are at the tier, you know, like myself, of being able to get 20% off, in my opinion, it's not worth it. In my opinion, I do not understand the hype surrounded by the Sephora sale, specifically if you're somebody that gets 10% off, especially when, even when it's not holiday season, I can almost guarantee you guys, you can go to Tower 28's website right now, and it's going to say, hey, subscribe and save 10% on your first order. So I guess I don't understand, and I have definitely fallen victim to this through the 7.5 years here on this space. But I really, after the first 3 years, and I was spending way too much money, I was going into credit card debt, doing all the things, and then just having so much stuff that I was like, what the hell what am I doing? Like, for my own self as a consumer, I had to reel myself in. And even with, you know, you can go back even a few years back when, you know, if I do a Sephora sale haul, and I would specifically say, like, you know, first of all, do I need this stuff? No. Do you need this stuff? No. Is it nice to treat ourselves? Is it nice to have, you know, nicer things and test things out? Of course. And I'm not in any way shaming you or me for wanting to buy things and try things and test things. My point specifically is that I feel like so many people are like, oh my gosh, Sephora sale. Oh my gosh, Sephora sale. Honey, we can save 10% off on any of these websites any time of the year. So quite literally, unless you are trying to purchase multiple different brands, or you get the 20% off, or you are shopping Sephora branded items that are 30% off, it is not worth it, in my opinion. It is absolutely not worth it. Even my little small purchase that I made here, I didn't really have the money to buy the stuff. I've already paid off my Sephora card, so I'm making, you know, payments on it. And that is something that I will say too, is that I do also get caught up in this. One of my friends does too. We were just talking about this, where she was like, girl, I'm paying $200 a month on Affirm and Afterpay payments. And I'm like, that's pretty much what I'm paying right now. I don't have the money to spend $200 a month to go and make purchases, and then I'm paying on them for 2-3 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully all this makes sense, y'all. And again, look, I'm not trying to poop on nobody that wants to spend their coins. You spend your money the way you want to spend your money. I am speaking solely in terms of people that, you know, the FOMO thing, and, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to shop the Sephora sale. Well, the Sephora sale's here. I better shop it. Unless you're getting the 20% or you're trying multiple brands, it's not worth the 10%. It is absolutely not worth it, in my personal opinion. I don't understand the hype surrounded by it at all. And for me personally, just because I knew there were definitely things I knew I wanted to get, like I wanted to re-up, I wanted to get things that, like, hey, I already know and love these types of items, but then I've always wanted to test out a couple of items. So for me, to save the 20%, you know, and across the board, I know that if I go to Rhode, I'm paying shipping. If I go to so-and-so, I'm paying shipping. So for me personally, this personal, you know, shopping experience for me was worth it because I did receive my 20% off, and then I'm able to try all of these different brands and re-up and buy things that I already know and love. So yeah, I'm sorry this got so long. Y'all know I like to talk. If you're new here, I'm really sorry. Also, if you're new though, I'm about to announce my 7,000 subscriber giveaway. So if you are new and you're not yet subscribed, I hope you'll consider subscribing and give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Again, you guys, I'm not trying to, you know, to tell anybody else how to spend their money. I'm only saying for me, I really had to put it in perspective for myself because I was overspending, I was overconsuming. And when I break it down, I'm like, dude, 10%, I literally can sign up for text alerts and get 10% off of any brand. So for me, the 10% is not worth it. 15%, even in my personal opinion, is not worth it. So yeah, that's it, you guys. And like I said, this is going to be my last haul, my last Sephora purchase. And what I think I'm going to start doing is kind of throughout the year, if I need to re-up something, that's fine. But I would rather take the money that I would have spent here and kind of wait until my favorite brands have those big holiday sales. You know, my favorite brands are 25, 35, 40% off. And then buy, kind of be more selective and go to those brands that I really, really wanted to try or really know and love already and kind of support that brand, if that makes any sense. And then of course, in terms of like eyeshadows and stuff like that, I mean, y'all know indie brands have my heart. But yeah, that is it. Thank y'all so much for joining. I hope you'll stick around. Please consider subscribing if you've not yet subscribed. Like I said, I do have a 7,000 subscriber giveaway coming up very, very soon. And that is it. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. And of course, be your own best beautiful. Bye, beauties.